This is Mike Merlin Means of Merlin Public Media, and tonight we have a follow-up on our homegrown show Events Talk, and with us tonight is
Willow.
And what are we talking about tonight, Willow?
So we're talking about Pride. We're only like 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Super close. It's super close. June 11th and 12th. And we're going to start setup on the 10th. So we just have to buckle down, and we have the last few things to take care of, and emailing our vendors and all the setup information, and the last real strong run for advertising, making sure that everybody knows that it's going to happen. It's happening fast. It's coming fast.
This is great. So what do we know that we didn't know a couple weeks back when we talked?
Well, we know that we're going to have Mohave County Library is going to have a booth.
Okay.
We know that we have some belly dancing classes, but there's belly dancing classes, yoga. There's going to be a D&D story adventure area in the kids zone. There's button making in the kids zone. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 or 50 vendors.
Wow.
And we have food. There's going to be, I think there's a barbecue truck, a Mexican truck. There's shaved ice. There's a lot. It's a lot.
So what about entertainment for the non-kids group?
So entertainment, there's going to be a bunch of drag. There's a lot of drag scheduled for both days. And then there's live music. The Swillers is playing. I don't know off the top of my head the names of the bands.
Okay.
I don't know all the names of the bands, but I know that the Swillers are playing. And then for the after party, that's definitely the non-kid. We have the Barbarista Crawl, and that starts at 7 on Saturday. And you get your special cup and your map at the park. And then you go to a couple of the places that are listed there. And then it ends at Blackbridge Brewery at 9. And that is when the after party drag show starts. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of comedy, lots of great skits and performances. All very, very much adult.
I remember when we talked before that you told me that your crawl was a little different than most.
Yes. So most of them are bar crawls exclusively. And because we know that there are members of our community that either choose not to drink alcohol just because they don't want to, or maybe because they're dealing with some addiction, we wanted it to be open and inviting for everyone. So there are non-alcoholic options. So we call it a bar barista, like barista as well.
Uh-huh. I think that's amazing because I'm 30-some, maybe like 33 years sober. So we're healthier than I would be, more than willing to take part in that because, it lets me live by my choices.
Yeah. And I don't drink either. So normally when there's a bar crawl, I'm not going to go and purchase this drink just to dump it out. But I will definitely purchase like yummy lemonade and stuff like that. So then the map that the participants will be purchasing will count as a raffle ticket at the end of the night.
Ooh.
And the pot is over $1,000 worth of stuff and cash.
Nice.
Yeah. There's gift certificates to Black Sheep Tattoo. There's gift certificates to the Bearded Baker. There's some for Nudge Pudge. There's stuff for I think there's stuff from West of 3rd, and then there's also cash prize in there as well. It's a big one.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So let's take a minute, and I know you've got sponsors out there. So
we do.
they're making this happen. I mean, yes, you're doing the work, but without the sponsors, it doesn't go down. So why don't you give a shout out to some of your sponsors?
So we have Totally Awesome Printing in Bullhead, and we have Waste Management. They are sponsoring a good chunk of change. Paul Gaines from Alpha Zulu Composites is also sponsoring. He's helped us the last couple of years, and we have the Bearded Baker is sponsoring some of the raffle items, and I know there's a few other smaller ones. There's a huge list. We really appreciate every single volunteer, every single sponsor, no matter how big, no matter how small. For instance, like just for security is $3,500. So every single piece of help that we can get makes this festival possible, and we really appreciate all of it.
So being a performance tech kind of guy, is there a stage down there they're playing on, or are we like strewn out on the grass, or how's that going down?
So there is a stage at Metcalf Park and has power and all of that. And we have somebody, so Chris Lay from the Swillers, he has graciously lent us his services to set up all of the sound boards, helping us organize all of that, because we just don't have the spoons for it. And our member that has the most experience with the sound and the tech, Taylor, they live in Georgia now with their fiance. So they participate via phone, but they just aren't here in person to help us with the sound and everything like that. So we're really thankful that Chris is here to help us with that.
Chris is a great guy. I've talked to him a number of times, and then lighting and sound and stuff for the Swillers. And yeah, Chris is just a heck of a nice guy all the way around, as is the rest of the band. That's
they're super
their nice. Repertoire is insane.
Oh yeah, they can do like any style. I think if you ask them to do like country songs in Klingon, they'd be down. They'd figure out how to do it.
Are you a bit of a Trekkie?
Only a lot. Only a lot.
Okay. I remember, well, when it came out, I was the first one. I was 6, I think. Yeah. So I've been watching Trek forever. So yeah, I get that. I'm a sci-fi geek from like childhood.
That's great. Yeah, that's the best kind. I'm grabbing the list of our sponsors. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Cool, please.
So I'm grabbing a list of our sponsors, and because we have some smaller ones, but like I said, we really appreciate everybody. So we have Arizona Youth Partnership. We've got Miss Nature LLC. And as far as I see, that is everybody. Somebody else that I wanted to mention, because they're putting together our giant signs for the stage and for our photo prop, is this really cool company called Card the Yard. And I'd never seen anything like it before. They have these big, bright, like rainbow and balloons and stars. They're these giant cutouts, and they assemble them all together into this prop that you can take pictures with, or you can have it on the back of the stage like we are. I'm really excited about that company. We have another vendor. I know her name is Courtney Thrasher. It's something horror Queen Creations. I'm super excited for her booth because I have been exercising a lot of self-restraint. My cup that had like my straw cup that I take everywhere with me, it broke, and I've been resisting temptation. I'm not buying a new one until Pride. I'm buying one at Pride, and I can't wait to see what goodies she has. She always brings great stuff. Cool. We'll have henna. We will have, I'm not sure if they're for sure going to be there, but there's a nonprofit called Back to Basics Rescue, and they rescue like small farm animals. We may have a couple of goats join us at Pride. I'm not going to lie. I'm super excited to pet some goats. I'm so excited. The Red Cross is going to be there. We have free mom hugs. Have you heard of that movement?
Yes, I have.
Group. They're going to be there. They're going to have a booth. I'm so excited for them. Kiwi Screens is coming. Kiwi Screens and one of our other board members, so Ronnie and Travis, they work together to build our light up sign for our tent, so it's easier for people to find us. Sweet Draw Candy Company, they have freeze dried candy. I'm very interested to try that. I have no idea what it's gonna taste like.
Yeah, I can't even come up with an idea on that one, but hey, sounds wonderful anyhow.
There's a lot. Looking at the list, we have 57 vendors that have turned in their application and are planning on joining us. So there's going to be something for everybody and entertainment for everybody. And I'm excited.
So I'm going to take a half a second here and plug some friends that are going to be there. Unity Church of the Mohave Valley.
Unity Church of Mohave Valley?
Unity Spiritual Center of the Mohave Valley.
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
They're gonna be up there. It's an unusual church isn't even a good word. Spiritual center is more what it's like. They are all embracing, just period.
That's wonderful.
I mean, I'm a full-on pagan and I'm welcome. And I mean, they're open for anybody and anything. And it's not a preachy thing. It's like, hey, what do you think about this? Let's talk about this Sunday. And, but yeah, good people.
I see them on the list. I can't wait to meet them. That's a great thing to have. I know that it's really hard, especially in our area, for our LGBT family to find a safe spiritual home. So I'm glad that they're able to attend.
Now they're down here in Bullhead, but they'll be there. They were talking about it on Sunday. I live streamed their Sunday services, so
very cool.
They're looking forward to all of this. So let's do a little business. Hey, I need some more information about Glow. Where do I go?
MohavePride.com.
Okay.
MohavePride.com. If you have Facebook, you can look up Mohave Pride. But the easiest way is going to be MohavePride.com, and that'll have the date, time, everything, just in case you lose whatever scrap of paper you're writing out.
This is why we have phones.
One other thing that I wanted to mention for the Kids Zone, just from the top, it's June 11th and 12th from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. both days. The Barbarisa crawl starts at 7 p.m., ends at 9 p.m., and the after party drag show starts at 9 p.m. and goes until 11 p.m. Both of those are on Saturday, the 11th. And then the event is free to attend. Like, there's no entrance fee or anything like that. For the Kids Zone to participate in those activities, it is either $15 a bracelet or 4 for $40.
Okay. So one bracelet gets you into one thing and $15 gets you into all of it.
No, it gets you into the whole area. Gets you into the whole area. So you can do the bounce houses, face painting, button making, whatever activity the library brings. They don't know yet, spoiler. And then the D&D story adventure time. The bracelet gets you into all of those things.
Wow. Button making, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out what that exactly is, but hey.
Oh, like the little badges, like the little.
Oh, I'm thinking like buttons on my shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm going, this is weird.
Maybe I should say badges. I don't know, but then I don't want it to be like, they're not name badges. They're just the little circle ones that you put on your backpack.
Gotcha.
And they can totally customize them and draw whatever they want. And then our volunteers will help them put them together.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand what that's about.
Great. I'm glad you asked.
It was just kind of like, what kind of buttons are we making? But, it's, and I am sharing everything that comes across my desk onto the radio page for you guys because
Thank you.
Well, it's what I can do between, this and conversations like this and that. That's what I can offer at this point in my life. And so I'm more than willing to do this, and I'm having fun with it, and I'm learning what buttons are.
Thank you. Well, we really appreciate all of the help that you can give us. We do a lot of work throughout the year, and everything that goes into this festival, as far as like income, like from the bracelets or from purchasing the beer or merchandise or anything like that, it goes into our other projects throughout the year, the Family Festivity Project and the Human Kindness Campaign. So it all stays local, and it all goes towards helping local families and local community members that need help in whatever way we can.
So is there an official event shirt, or is it just a bunch of shirts?
No, there's an official event shirt. So it is the Mohave. It'll say Mohave Pride, and then it'll have glow on the back of it. And that's the one that's dated. And we had a couple of submissions, a couple community member kiddos. Well, I think one was a kiddo and then one was a grown-up that submitted ideas, and one of them was made into a shirt, and the ones that weren't chosen for shirts this year were made into stickers. So you can buy all of those at the event and rock your swag all year round. And we also have other events that are going to come up that aren't festivals. They're just like everybody's going down to the lake, or we're getting together to go to the park. And we want to make sure that we can celebrate Pride all year round and have a safe and welcoming family all year round.
It's so important. I was way on the outside many years ago, and I told you I worked with the podcast, and I started to understand, and I, as much as an outsider can. Mm-hmm. But any degree of safe space is really, it's so important, because a lot of people can't get to a safe place, and then sadly sometimes we lose those people.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is we want it to be a safe space for anybody. So it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of ingenuity. It takes a lot of dedication. The people that we have on our board, I would have never guessed in a million years that I would know the amazing people that I know now that work so tirelessly to build something from the ground up for our community. And I'm beyond thankful, because this event is literally put on by like 6 people.
Well, then let's give the rest of the board a shout out and give them credit where it's due.
Yeah, absolutely. So, excuse me, Ronnie has been in charge of putting together all of the entertainment and the classes, and has done a wonderful job securing all of that, and working with Chris and working with Blackbridge Brewery for the after party. Travis has been such a wonderful help in putting our signs together, and really helping us with community connections and getting us in touch with people that may be able to help us. Gideon is always willing to jump in and always willing to build a beautiful cake for any raffle that we have going on. Taylor is the god of advertising and putting our website together. We would not be able to do half of the things that we did if they didn't participate. Ronnie, Travis, Gideon, Taylor. That's everybody, right? That's everybody.
You left out you.
I just wrangle the squirrels. That's all I do. I just
somebody's got. Oh my God, that's so funny, because I almost worked on a film. The budget didn't come through. Where, honest to God, there needed to be a squirrel wrangler, a
Yeah,
bunch of
that's
squirrels in the back of a car, and a bunch of other things. Funny as all get out, but yes. And we actually, the director found a squirrel wrangler in Texas.
oh, like a real one? Like a
Honest to
real
God, squirrel wrangler. He trains
That's
squirrels
the
for
best.
film and video.
That's the best. The other people that I didn't mention are our families. Uh, they're the ones that listen to us moan and how frustrated, and then also our joys and our highs. Um, and they haul chairs and they haul tables and they help put up tents and they help mark out event locations, and they just our families our families are also a huge reason why this happens. So it takes a lot of people. The more the merrier. And I'm sure that you'll agree with me that in the current world that we live in, now is not the time to sit down. I know that we are all really tired, and I know that we are all very discouraged. But at the very minimum, like, you lean on me, I lean on you, we'll hold each other up, we'll get this done.
Yep. Yep, I am. I'm an activist on a multitude of levels, and we just all together, and things happen.
Yeah.
And it's just it's wonderful to be a part of something like that. Once it's done, and you look back and you say, "Yeah, we did this, and this was good, and it helped people." And
Oh, it's so wild. It's so wild. Like Friday when we are finally at the park and we're seeing everything get put together, there's going to be some tears. I'm not going to lie.
oh
Like,
yeah,
we are going to be bawling our eyes out because it's real. I can't even tell you the insane feeling of just surrealism at seeing those first tents go up. And then the day of the event, you see the first kid run through the park with a rainbow flag on their back like a cape. And you're like, holy shit, we did it.
Mhm. Yep. It's an amazing thing to be a part of anything that gives back to the community, especially that's just utterly inclusive. And there's a lot of events around here that are, well,
Not.
that's okay. We'll stop with not. Yeah.
They're just not.
Yeah.
And those are our goal is to not just make an event where everyone feels welcome, but our goal is also education. And sometimes it starts with hard conversations. Sometimes it starts with difficult invitations to some of our community members that may not have had these conversations or may not have had an opportunity to talk to a real live gay person. They may just not have had that opportunity, and we really want to extend the invitation to anyone who is willing to have genuine and honest dialogue, no matter what that may be.
That's kind of heavy,
Uh,
and I like it.
our plan for protesters is water bottles and sunscreen.
um, I really didn't want to go there, but has that happened in the past?
You know, it really hasn't. There have been a few individuals that have wanted to make their fears or their concerns known on social media. And we really try to encourage our volunteers and our family members to not engage in a negative way, because let's be honest, nobody is going to Facebook to have a meaningful conversation that may change their community involvement. Nobody is going to learn something new. So as far as in person, uh, I want to say there was one gentleman that came and he was wearing a t-shirt that said something about Jesus and hell or something like that. I don't even remember. He just stood by one of the entrances and looked very uncomfortable. And then there were a couple of missionaries that came into the event and started trying to proselytize. And our approach is kind of just like, well, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how they're received, and we'll see what kind of respect they show. And we didn't really intervene until they started really saying some hurtful and harmful things. So we just try to handle everything that leaves the door open for conversation while still standing up for the sanctity of human rights.
Well played. Excuse me.
Say that one more time.
I said, excuse me, and then I was having a long moment. It has passed.
Okay.
Yeah, conversation, real conversation. It's not really happening. I mean, I don't find myself in a lot of real conversations anymore.
You know, Gideon and I talk about this a lot. Gideon is my very, very best friend, and I just also happen to get to work with him on this. And we have, I think out of everybody that I know, I would say that he and I have the most like philosophical conversations. And we talk about how we can best invite conversations. And so many of the things that we've read about this topic and listened to about this topic have really encouraged just asking questions and really honestly listening. Not listening to explain why it's incorrect, not listening to, gather ammunition or make the snowballs. It's listening to hear what is the source of their fear? What is the source of their insecurity? And how can we soothe that fear? Not throw it in the garbage and not tell them why they're dumb for having that fear, but just to soothe that discomfort. Because ultimately, we're just a bunch of grown-up jellyfish controlling these flesh robots and carrying around dumpster fires of trauma. So,
oh God, I'm going to have to look that back up when I edit this and copy that down because that was good.
So it's just we want to do our best to treat everybody with the empathy and the compassion that we ourselves crave. That's our goal.
That's a perfect goal. If everyone had even a fraction of that, it would be a much, much better planet to live on.
Well, I am very excited to start spreading those seeds with you, Mike, and with everybody that we're going to see at Pride.
I'm looking forward to hearing how it went. But I guess, well, I'm sorry, another question. Anybody going to be streaming anything from down there?
So I'm not sure if we have anybody that's going to be streaming. To be honest, I wouldn't even know who to ask. But we do have another podcast group that plans on having a booth, and I believe they're going to be setting up the mics and just having them record for people to tell their stories.
Oh, nice.
So that will be there. And I'm sure that there will be live streams throughout the day on Mohave Pride's page. But other than that, do you have any suggestions?
No. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people that stream. I also know this is too last minute to book them. Were this, a year ago, and I'd met you, I could have done it. Again, I can't. But you know what?
We can
No
just plan for
promises.
next time.
Let me see if I can get a hold of anybody that's willing to do it. 'Cause I can try a few of my contacts and see if they're willing to go and try and do that.
Okay, that would be super. Anybody that volunteers to help us, we feed them and water them and love them, but mostly the food
Well,
and the water.
mostly the food and the water. Um, okay, and I guess this is going to be a personal question.
Yeah.
How does somebody that's not going to make it get a shirt?
You tell the president of the nonprofit that you would really like a shirt, and you tell her your size.
I would really like a shirt, and I'd like a one, a 1 or a 2X.
Okay, we can make that happen.
Cool, cool. So give me a wrap up.
All right. So wrap up would be June 11th and 12th. We are going to have the third annual Mohave Pride, second in person, at Metcalf Park in Kingman, Arizona. There are 2 full days of live entertainment, local drag, classes, a ton of fun for kids, amazing food. I believe there's also a big hat brunch, but I don't have all the details, so I didn't mention it. There's a barbarista crawl and an after party on Saturday. And there are going to be families and kids and community members that haven't felt safe enough to smile with their authentic selves crowding in that park. And I can't wait to see all of them.
I wish I could see it too. And
we will take lots of pictures just for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the contact information again, the website and Facebook page.
Yep. It is all Mohave Pride, either .com or on Facebook. And then the email, if you feel like emailing us, is and then IAZ. So that's ANDTHEN, the letter I, AZ@gmail.com.
Cool.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm wishing you a wonderful event, even though you don't need the wishes. This is going to go down beautifully.
Thank you so much.
So have a wonderful evening. Try and get a little bit of rest between now and then. Yeah, I know.
Thank you very, very much. And we'll take lots of pictures and get your shirt to you, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.